Okay, hello everybody. I'm coming to you from my own kitchen today to share with you a home practice that you can do in your home kitchen or anywhere to show you or to share with you that you can practice yoga anytime, wherever you are. So we'll start today with Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana is half intense stretch. So I'm using my kitchen countertop because it's nice and sturdy because I want to be able to pull back on it. So if you're using something else, make sure you can pull back onto it. Notice how I'm extending my wrists, drawing my fingernails back towards my elbows, walking my feet back until my arms are fully extended. I'm bending my knees and I'm bringing my feet right under my hips, making sure that my feet are hip distance apart and that my heels are a little bit wider than my toes. And so this first action is just to push into that countertop and move your hips back away from your hands, extending the breastbone forward. Stiffer bodies, you want to stay here and enjoy this stretch of your back. More flexible folks, press through the big toe mounds down, the outer heels down, and then lift up through the inner thighs and move your inner thighs back and reach your breastbone forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Push the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Take deeper, fuller breaths in and out. And then you can add to this by pressing your palms flat and changing the action. Now push down with your hands, lift up with your inner elbows. And then we'll come up out of the pose. So that's Ardha Uttanasana. The next pose is going to be Malasana, the Garland pose. So I'm holding again onto the countertop. And again, I'm not walking my feet back, just bending my knees until my knees are right over my ankles. And I'm holding onto this countertop and moving my hips way back. So I'm bringing my hips to the level of my knees or maybe a little bit lower, reaching my hips backwards, keeping again my ears level with my upper arms. And stiffer bodies, stay here and again enjoy this lengthening of your back. You'll feel it there. More flexible folks, you can try extending your legs, moving the roots of your thighs back, reaching the breastbone forward, taking deeper, fuller breaths in and out. And then we'll come back. Okay, the next pose is called Parsvottanasana. So Parsvo is the intense stretch of the sides of the trunk. So place your hands flat on this countertop and then take one leg way back. One leg goes way, way back. So you have about 4 feet between your feet. And notice that my back foot is turned out about 60 degrees. So in this pose, press into the instep of press down into the floor with the instep of your front foot and press into the floor with the outer edge of your back foot. And then move your hips back, especially the front hip. Bring the front hip as far back as the back hip is. And then extend your breastbone forward. Continue that action of pushing down into the countertop. So hips back, breastbone forward. Parsvottanasana. Pressing the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. And then come on up. Stiffer bodies, if that feels too low for you, just use a wall like this. Use a wall. You can have your foot pretty close to the wall. And instead of having your arms at the height of your hips, you can walk your hands up the wall. This works really well also. Otherwise, we'll do the other side. So the other leg will be forward. One leg goes back. Turn the back foot out about 60 degrees. Press into the instep of the front foot or press that down into the floor. Press the outer edge of your right foot down and then take your hips back, especially the front hip. Take it back. The front hip meaning the leg that's forward. Move your hips backwards, reach the breastbone forward. Take deeper, fuller breaths. Parsvottanasana. And then we'll come up. The next pose is called Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So Utthita extended, Hasta hand, Padangusthasana, foot, big toe. Okay, so stand in Tadasana. I'm using my refrigerator for balance. You can use whatever is around. And I bring my foot up onto that countertop. Now, if this feels too low, or excuse me, if it feels too high, then just use a chair or a stool. Just lower the height so you can get a good posture for yourself. The first thing is to check that this standing leg foot didn't turn out. It wants to do that. And then press this standing leg thigh back as you extend the inseam, the inner thigh of that lifted leg. If you have your balance, bring your hands to the hips and draw your outer hips towards each other. Compact your hips and raise your arms upwards. Lift your ribs upwards, lift your arm bones, lift your finger bones, spiral your inner thighs back. You can also interlace the fingers above you for a moment, Urdhva Baddhagulyasasa, squeezing your outer upper arms in. And you can also interlace the fingers behind your back, rolling the shoulders back, reaching the knuckles back and down, moving the shoulder blades deeper into your back ribs. And then release. And we'll do the other side, okay? So Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Use any support you need for balance and bring one foot up onto the counter or the chair, whatever you have around. Make sure that your standing leg foot didn't turn out. Move your standing leg thigh back as far as you can and lengthen the inner thigh of your lifted leg. Make sure that your lifted leg hip isn't higher than your standing leg hip. Draw the outer hips in. Maintain that as you extend your arms upwards. Lift your ribs upwards. Lift your arm bones upwards. And then interlace your fingers. You can reverse the interlace. One finger forwards or backwards. Straighten the outer arms in, inner upper arms back. And then interlace the fingers again behind you. Again, move those fingers, one finger forwards or backwards. Lift the shoulders. Reach the knuckles back and down and move the shoulder blades deeper into the back ribs. And then you release. And you just take a moment and stand in Tadasana. Bring your feet together. Lift up through your breastbone. Extend through your arms. Take deeper, fuller breaths in and out. Enjoy the effects and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.